Can we find a mathematical explanation why most of your dates are pretty boring, why you're not that great at conversation, and especially not good at flirtation, and why women just seem to be way better at that? The answer is yes, and I'm gonna look at that in today's video. Let's jump in. Shocking sexual data. Welcome to my PowerPoint. Let's think about how many minutes are spent in the flirt zone for men and women between 18 and 25. So we're going to look at some data, we're going to use AI. What's the situation for men? Tinder and awkward social events. Maybe speed dating or, awkward house parties. That's pretty much for the regular guy, especially more introverted, especially maybe in fields like engineering or finance. That's the reality. So what does that mean in terms of how many minutes are spent in the flirt zone for these men? Realistic number of dates per year, like good dates with, if you choose girls that you actually want to go on date with, not accept any crap from Tinder, about 1 every 2 months. Let me know in the comments below if that is accurate for you. How many of these dates are actually flirtatious? So most dates, the problem is they're very safe, because the guy's very safe because he's boring. He doesn't know how to escalate, he doesn't know how to flirt, he doesn't know how to lead certain topics in an interesting, exciting, maybe sexual way. The girl is obviously hoping that you eventually take the lead. So what is happening? 65% of the dates are boring. She came and she didn't get what she wanted. Issue is, if you're more on the introverted side, you're empathetic and you struggle to flirt because you don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. You don't want to escalate too much. She, on the other hand, needs a dominant dude. So what you're finding is a dominant girl to take the lead, which again ruins the whole polarity in a date and makes it boring. So over 7 years, 2 actually interesting dates times 25 minutes of actual flirting, that's 350 minutes of flirtation in 7 years. But there's more. You also go out, from 18 to 22, maybe you do a bunch of clubbing. Do you do a lot of flirting there though? Be honest, right? Epic night. Females approached, 0. I'm guilty of that for sure. That's happened to me all the time. The real time when you're actually flirting is in the smoking area, because in the line, you're just with your bros, you're not really cold approaching. On the dance floor, it's too loud. You don't do real flirting at all. At the bar, you maybe try to chat someone up, but it's cringe. So the only time you actually get in conversations is maybe at the pre-drinking or in the smoking area. Which gets us to, if we add that up over 4 or 5 years of partying, 1 time per weekend, 750 minutes, so 12.5 hours of experience. The crazy part is most girls start to flirt at the age of 12, not like us in our 20s, but actually way younger. So by the time they are 25, it's been 10 to 13 years that they've been flirting. Now, how many actual dates do they go on? Not as many, actually, because most of the time they're in relationships. Beautiful women are spending a lot of time in the relationships. They don't want to sleep around that much. They're mostly in partner finding time, and then instantly they have a boyfriend. During those 2 months, she's single. She might go on 1 date every week. Yeah, she's in a relationship from 16 to 19, and then 1 year single, let's say, and then from 20 to 23, and then maybe 2 years single again, as an example. She doesn't count all the dates because it's the nice guys, it's the introverts that don't flirt. So in those 3 years, she's been on 7 good dates, 45 minutes of actual being in the pressure, being flirted with, 15 hours. All right, so 15 hours matches almost to 12.5 hours, right, of dudes. But there's more. Wrong. We forget all the unwanted and unplanned flirting, Unwanted, basically being the construction worker, like catcalling her. Sure, not good for her, but it's happening. And it's happening all the time, and it's happening early on. And she learns how to deal with that. She's basically doing reps, right? She's every day exercising her social muscles, so to say. She also gets in a taxi, orders a coffee, meets her dad's friends, goes to job interviews, gets treated a bit differently by the executive, simply exists in the world. Imagine all the situations she goes to where she just is being treated a little bit differently all the time. She goes to parties, house parties, clubs, all sorts of events, festivals, goes to bars. The barista is extra nice. Hey, how's your day? Oh, it's the double shot, huh? Then her boss at the job interview. The taxi driver. Oh, you're also from Poland. Yeah, what region? Oh, my sister from there. Okay. Oh, you're very beautiful. Most beautiful women are from there. And the teacher maybe lets some mistakes slide, or is trying to awkwardly flirt with her, or tries to chat with her a little bit after class. All this is not positive flirtation. It's not with the man she actually wants to date, but it is flirtation nonetheless, and she learns to deal with this energy. So she gets about 15 minutes of that sexual interest per day for 13 years. That is a big number. 1,186 hours. Crazy, right? How much unwanted attention do men get? Just a little bit from gay men. I definitely got my fair share of attention from gay men. I don't know about you. Comment below. So what does this mean for you watching this? I don't know how old you are, but according to my stats, maybe somewhere between 22 and 40. Let's look at this about 30-year-old introvert. If you are empathetic, you feel for other people and you want to make them feel comfortable, but you're also introverted, and you maybe work in a more technical job, or you're very analytical, or you like maths or physics, or you're a programmer, or you work in finance, then you have a lot of catching up to do. You have to not get to the same level of her, but a similar level. You have to understand social dynamics. You have to understand the basics of charisma, of flirtation, of putting pressure on girls, on taking the lead, on taking a conversation to a different level. Very important. So, how do we get more flirting reps? Make a goal to be more social. What can you do today to be more social? This could be just changing your way to work. This could be asking one question every time you order a coffee. This could be waving at people, saying hi to people, pointing things out, giving compliments, going more to events, and especially talking to women in real life. Cold approach, approaching women in a direct way whenever you see them. You can also practice soft flirting. Okay, this is actually a great hack. What is soft flirting? Hard flirting is like, talking about porn and sexual stuff and a winky and sexy voice. And it can be sleazy, but it can be sexy if the vibe is on. But you don't introduce that until later and you really have a vibe with a girl. Soft flirting is way more simpler and way more applicable and is way more common, actually. So soft flirting means you're playful, you're gentle, you're subtle. You are able to hold eye contact. You're able to not instantly break eye contact, to instantly fill the silence all the time. You can hold pressure. Most guys are avoiding this. They can't handle it. They're basically not trained. They're not a social special forces enough to do that. And you, as it says here, you can practice this with everyone. You can look people in the eyes as they walk past you on the street. Obviously, don't practice it with your coworkers. Don't make people like super uncomfortable, but you can go into the world with a bit more intent. Look people in the eyes, not just the hot girls. Then, next soft flirting method is holding silence. Again, a form of holding pressure and not releasing pressure all the time. You can help all these methods, by the way, through breathing techniques and meditation and getting grounded. So most guys rush to fill the silence. They constantly want to talk, especially on a date. When there's a little bit of silence, they're like, oh, so you have sisters? Oh, what's her name? Oh, cool. She also has blonde hair. Oh, that's nice. And you live together? No. Okay. You don't like her. Okay. So you have a brother? And it's like super stressful. Like even me talking like that, I'm getting stressed out. So bad. Holding silence, sexy. Leave a pause. She said something. Just nod, smile. Don't stare at her, but smile. Maybe there's more. Maybe she's then engaged enough to tell her the actual thing, the real thing. Let the tension build, take a deep breath, and then answer or give her a compliment or point something out. You can move. You can train your facial muscles for that and your eye contact. This is actually easier for introverts once you overcome the nervousness. So your lack of desire to constantly talk, because you're maybe more introverted, you actually like to be quiet, can actually help you and sit in silence better. Often what happens with introverts is when they're nervous, when they sit in front of a beautiful girl on the street, at a date, wherever, they actually get fidgety, and that's why they talk, not because they want to talk. They just can't handle the silence. And they think it's their job to talk, but it's not. It should be 50-50. And if you're really good at seduction, the woman actually talks more. All right. Little challenge, For example, when a store person asks you, maybe you just bought coffee, or you're in a restaurant, or bought a sandwich, and she says, cash or credit, you just stare at her and you're like, what do you think? What's better? It's silly, right? But it works. Or Sasha Degem had one where he was like, talking, getting up at the restaurant, going to the waitress, saying, hey, I don't want to cause any trouble, but can you tell me where the bathroom is? Stuff like that, right? It's harmless, it's funny, probably gets a joke, a smile, and it really helps you building pressure and learning to deal with pressure. Another challenge, when somebody tells you a story or anything, just raise your eyebrow, be a little bit surprised, right? Be a little bit like, really? Like this. You don't have to say really, just like with your eyes, like this guy. It's very exaggerated here. Or ask someone a question, and then again the eyebrow, the face, and like, you sure about that? And they say, yeah, I'm sure. And then you pause again, and you're like, it's cool. I love that book. And then release the pressure. Sounds crazy, maybe. You're like, oh, it's going to be cringe. It's going to be a little bit cringe for you, but it's important. This is a playful way to create social tension, and this is what actual flirtation is. You have to do it daily. You have to train it. You have to get into it. You have to start role play with your friends. Otherwise, you will never get it. Women crave this energy because it creates a good balance. It shows that you know what you're doing. It shows you good in pressure. She actually can trust you more as a man. She needs a stable, powerful, calm man, and it's fun on top of all. If you want to learn how to do this, you need to really learn how to approach in real life. Because if you just rely on your normal social situations for that to happen, it's simply not enough, especially at the beginning, and I'm going to talk about this in another video. You need a certain level of number of approaches in order to raise your skill level, in order to raise your, just ability to talk to women. And go through all the stages, like the opener, communication, getting her attention, creating rapport, challenging her, getting investment out of her, closing, and then moving on through social media and texting. And this is a life skill. You can't really escape that, except you just gonna marry the first girl that comes your way. If that is your thing, then congratulations. That makes it way easier. But if you really wanna take your dating skills to the next level, you can book a free consultation call below. But I hope you really understand how crazy behind you are. Really putting it in numbers, if we go back here or think back, like 1100 hours versus 13 hours. It's almost like a factor 100 that you're lacking this skill. It's almost like you're competing against a guy who's been going to the gym for 10 years or has been training boxing for 10 years. And you've been training 100th of that, which is approximately 1 month or 1.2 months. So that's the skill discrepancy. You don't have to get to her level, but you need to learn this. You need to become social. Otherwise, it becomes so obvious to everybody who is at that level, who has ability, that you just don't have it. And that's why your dates are boring. That's why you land in the friend zone. That's why girls call you a nice guy. That's why girls call you friendly, because you just can't hold pressure. You're not doing any of these flirtatious things. So please book below. Happy to talk about your situation if you fall into this category, and obviously have many different coaching solutions for that. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you love this format, and I'll see you in the next video.